I have 8 children, that's true. I just want to add that I had 12 pregnancies and 4 miscarriages. I would have had 12. Anyway, people will always ask me this question. Kate, what is your greatest achievement in life? And that will always make me pause and think, is it all the academic awards I received in school? Is it being awarded the Rec Selling Association of the Philippines Hall of Fame? Is it being country manager of an American multinational company in the health and wellness business? What is it actually? And when I look deeper into my heart, the answer is being a mother of 8. That is my greatest achievement. And it is not easy. Kasi po, I know you will all agree with me that being a parent is not taught to us in school. Right? There is no course on parenting. We somehow move into that space because of the circumstance and the choices in our lives. But we draw from the wealth of our experience, no? Like our own parents, the way they brought us up. That is more or less how we're going to raise our children. My mother is pure Chinese, and I don't know if some of you here come from a Chinese family. My mother was not very demonstrative or affectionate. She's a bit stiff, no? But from my mother, I learned the beautiful values of hard work, of caring for the family, of generosity. And in her own way, my mom was very prayerful. My father was Spanish Filipino. You know how the Spaniards are. They're very vibrant and full of life and passionate. So I got all of that from my dad. He was the person who would always push me to achieve more, to excel, always tell me you can do it, you can shine. No? So all of this I got from them. And then of course, the school where we find ourselves in. I was happy to hear that Celeste also graduated from the College of the Holy Spirit. That's where I came from. And we were teasing each other na yung uniforme ba natin hanggang dito? Opo, ganun nga, no? And so the nuns taught us a lot of things in school, a deeper spirituality, values. And then of course, when I went to the University of the Philippines, I learned more about, for me, looking back, it's all about critical thinking and love of country. So this is who I am, no? Today, I'm going to share with you 3 or 4 stories of people close to my heart. And the first one is the story of John. John is my son. He is the 5th out of the 8 children. When John was 8 years old, together with Paulo, who was 13, they were kidnapped for ransom on their way to school sa Ateneo. The car was abducted by armed men. They were held hostage for 9 days in a safe house outside of the metropolis. And it was for us a very, very, I don't know if you call it a dark night. A terrible time na you even think, is this happening to me? No, it can't be happening to me. Because at that time, there was a lot of news about kidnapping. But you will never, ever even think that it can happen to you. But at that point in my life, it did. So we prayed, we negotiated. I negotiated with the kidnappers. And after 9 days, when we paid the ransom, our sons were returned to us. There was much rejoicing at home. And as a mother, I thought, this is it, tapos na yung problema. Eh, hindi po pala. One lesson I learned at that point was, when something terrible happens to our children, for some reason, they are never the same again. John started to exhibit the trauma of that incident. When we tried to let him go back to school after a time of therapy, he would always vomit pag malapit na siya sa school. So driver had no recourse but bring him back home. So he went into therapy again. We I asked my friends who were priests and nuns to pray over him for healing, brought him to a good psychiatrist. And then after a while, finally, he was able to go back to school. But he said, I will only go back to school if you will sit outside my classroom from the time I enter the classroom up to the time I go home. Can you imagine sitting outside the classroom from 7 in the morning up to 3 p.m.? From vomiting, John had another phase of that trauma. The teacher called my attention and said, do you know that John keeps doing origami in class? You know origami, you fold the paper and you form something. He likes to create birds, all kinds of colors and shapes and sizes. He keeps folding them. And the teacher would call his attention and tell him, John, please pay attention. He would say yes, but he would go back to it. And so it was time to go back again to the therapist, to the psychiatrist. And his doctor said, this is still part of what he's going through. John is so afraid he's trying to lose himself in a safe world. That's why he's doing that. Okay? So we had another series of treatments for John. But the worst thing that ever happened to my son was he started not being able to sleep. How many of you have problems with sleep? I think you can understand what John was going through. He told me he didn't like to sleep because he would just dream that the bad men are taking him. So he would force himself to stay awake. And of course, if the son is awake, the mother is also awake. And I had just given birth at that time by cesarean section to my last child, Chrissy. So I was really going through a difficult time. And in one of those nights that we were just, holding each other, John looked up to me with sad eyes and said, Mom, will this fear in my heart ever go away? I didn't know what to say. What can you say? What can you answer to a child's question? So I just kept quiet and I asked God in my heart, Lord, how am I going to answer this? And the answer I gave was this, John, I don't know when that fear will go away. All I know is there is someone greater than that fear, and that is God. That's Jesus. You just call him and ask him to embrace you. And Mommy will pray that that fear will finally go away. So that was the suffering of John every night. Until finally one day, a friend called me very excitedly and said, Kate, I heard about what John is going through. I said, yes, he has problem with sleeping. I have a magnetic sleep system that I want you to take a look at. It's supposed to help people with their sleep. I said, okay, sure, bring it to the house. And she brought it, and she explained to me what it could do. And I said, okay, I'm going to buy my first sleep system. And I made John sleep on it the first night. I said, John, this is for you. It's a new bed. You're going to sleep here. And so he said, yes, Mom. And so he laid there. And after a while, he fell asleep. Normally, he'd wake up at around 2 a.m. crying because he's having nightmares. But at that point, 2 a.m. when I woke up, he was still sleeping. So I went back to sleep. He woke up about 6, maybe 6:30 in the morning. He was waking me up and he said, Ma, wake up, I'm going to school. I said, really? Yeah, I feel okay, I'm going. So I said, okay. So the yaya helped him change. I made him eat breakfast. Finally, off he went to school. I was praying to God. I said, Lord, totoo ba yun o tsamba lang? Pero sana totoo na. So that night, when he was going to sleep again, I was praying for my son that he would get that good sleep. And he did. He slept so deeply and restfully night after night after night. And John was on his way to healing. Something beautiful really happens to us when we sleep. Sleep is not just something that's part of our human makeup. It's there because it is in deep restful sleep that our body is able to heal itself. I've realized that now as a wellness advocate. So when people heard about the magic bed, they would call and say, Kate, narinig namin yung tungkol sa bed ni John. Ano ba itsura niyan? Oh, it's a magnetic bed and you know, it has egg crate design and you just lie down on it, put it on top of your regular bed and lie down on it. So people got curious and I started referring to my friend, a lot of people who purchased. I said, oh, can I earn from this? Oh yes, of course. That started me on my selling career. I must have sold, I don't know how many beds, but later on, we were asked to sell sleeps, aside from the sleep systems, water systems, air systems. So I developed a concept called a wellness home. So people would buy an entire sleep system with all the other, and before I knew it, I was the top distributor of this company. Can you imagine an ordinary housewife, no, building her sales career because of, you know, this story that happened to John. Anyway, that first year, I was voted by the DSAP as top distributor for my company, and they gave me that award. On the second year, they gave me again the same award. On the third year, I was again the top distributor. On the fourth year, they said, you can't win it anymore. We're elevating you to the Hall of Fame. Okay? So that's the story of John. Now, that bed, he still sleeps on it, but more than this, I want to share with you something. In Kyani, we have this sunset. We take this after we eat dinner, and it has helped a lot of people have better sleep, actually. More than anything, it also helps with cognitive function and all that. But just about a month ago, when John got his Fitbit watch, he came to me and said, hey, I want to show you something. I said, what is it? Look at this. My watch shows that this night, I didn't sleep so well. My sleep was interrupted. It's shallow. But when I took your sunset, Ma, he said, take a look. There's more dark spaces. That means my sleep was deep and restful. So he said, you can share that to your friends. That's why I'm telling you the story again now. John is a graduate of Ateneo for all the way from grade school to high school. Then he went to La Salle. He worked with Brother Armin as executive assistant for a while. When Brother Armin joined the government, John said, I'm not going with you, brother. Papasok ako sa brotherhood, magsa-search in ako. After two months, lumabas na ho si John, sabi niya, Ma, I think I can serve God outside. Sabi ko, okay lang, anak. Sabi ko sa kanya. Today, he is a consultant for an international venture capitalist company that invests in education for impact. John loves the academe so much. So talagang that kind of work suits his personality. So that is John. The next story I'll share with you is the story of Chrissy, my youngest. You know, itong bunso kong ito, I knew right away she was really unique and special when I saw her, no, being born. Chrissy is a lovely, lovely child. She speaks her own mind, very precocious. Nung kinder po siya, I was called to Poveda for the first time. I thought she was, performing well in academics. Hindi pala, no? Sabi ng teacher niya, Mrs. Bellosillo, do you know that Chrissy gets lost after recess? I said, really? Where does she go? Oh, we found her at the back of the kinder building playing with newly born kittens. Oh, I see. Can you please tell her to go back to the classroom after recess? So I spoke to Chrissy and I said, Chrissy, teacher said you're doing this. And I said, why? Sabi niya, because mommy, they're newly born and their mother left them and there's nobody taking care of them. So I would ask Yaya to prepare milk, in her small milk bottles. And she would bring it to school, and at recess time, she would feed the kittens. Nice, diba? She's such a kind heart. So I told her, okay, Chrissy, this is what you do. when it's 9:30, it's time for you to go home. I mean, go back to the classroom, I'm sorry. And then she looks at me and said, 9:30? They haven't taught us how to tell time yet. Okay? So I said, okay, this is what you do. Look at the grounds, and if you see that there are no more children, that means they've gone back to their classroom. So it's time for you to go back. She said, okay. So she'd do it 1 day, 2 days, but she's back with the kittens. Okay? Until finally one day, there was a big commotion at home because her yaya, her nanny, Beng, was bitten by a stray cat. And so she looked at me and said, what's happening? I said, we're bringing Yaya Beng to the hospital. For what? She needs to have anti-rabies shots. So what's rabies, mommy? Oh, it's a germ that enters your body because a stray cat bites you. And then what happens? And so I said, that will enter your bloodstream and go to your brain and you can die. Really? She looked at me. And then she said, you know what? Those kittens in school, I think they're old enough to take care of themselves. So that's how God solved the problem with the kittens. 1 month later, the teacher called me again. Of course, I know she must have done something again. So I said, what is it this time, miss? And then she said, your daughter is climbing the trees. The trees in Poveda are not too high. You know, the branches would like be up to here. So they would climb, she would climb with her best friend and sit there on the branch and dangle her legs. So I asked her, Chrissy, yeah, I know, teacher told you I'm climbing the trees. So I said, so why again? She just looked at me with those lovely eyes and said, Mom, have you seen what the world is like from up there? Paano ka naman magagalit sa mga ganyang sagot, di ba? Bata pa lang marunong na maghugot, right? Okay, so I knew right away that Chrissy was different from my other kids. Nung grade 4 siya, here's the thing. Teacher called me, told me, Mrs. Bellosillo, I'm very sorry to tell you that your daughter is so different from her older sisters. I said, what do you mean? They're all academic achievers. Itong anak ninyo, napakahina ng ulo. Ah, ganun po ba? Bakit po? She doesn't do her homework. She doesn't pay attention in class. It looks like she's always daydreaming. She doesn't submit her projects on time. She's not paying attention. Can you please talk to her? So again, I called Chrissy and I said, Chrissy, what's wrong? You know what she answered? I am bored. But Chrissy, it can't be that way. You have to pass, otherwise you'll have to repeat. You know the usual mommy anxieties, no? When I was speaking to the president of Poveda, she told me, you know what, Kate, nothing's wrong with your daughter. You have to find a school that suits her personality. So I was inspired by that, and I started to look for a school, and I found a school called Multiple Intelligence. It's a school right across from Miriam along Katipunan, near Ateneo also. So I brought Chrissy there, and you know, she was excited because it's a different environment. And of course, I explained to her homeroom teacher what she was going through in Poveda. Okay? The first day of school, when she got home, she was very, very happy. And she said, guess what, Mom? I said, what? Teacher made me the leader of the class. I said, really? What do you mean? Well, she told me I have to be the one to write down who is late and who is absent and who is present. So if I have to do that, I have to be in school ahead of everyone. Okay. And one more thing, I have to check if everybody did their homework. That means I have to do mine. Nice, isn't it? So that school really brought out the best in Chrissy. And I learned this, you know, if you have problems with your children, please don't worry about that. Find a good environment for them. What I learned in this school is Every child pala is a genius. And it is up to us adults to discover the beauty, the genius, the gift of every child and bring it to the light. And this is what this school did. And they discovered that she had an extraordinary gift for music. So they would use the music to teach her the math. They would use the music to teach her the science. And so she found it very interesting and exciting. When she graduated from high school in this multiple intelligence school, she was conducting the graduating class. And I was really teary-eyed, just crying. I said, wow, this is something. No? After that number, when she sat with me, I asked her, Chrissy, how did you do that? Apparently, they were singing an original composition by one of the students, and Chrissy helped write the music, and Chrissy arranged it so that it can be sung together. And I asked her, how'd you do it? Because she didn't have special lessons in music. And she said, Mom, when I hear it here, I can play it in my hands. Huh? So I just told them, you will sing it like this. You will sing it like this. You're the drummer, this is your beat. You're the guitarist, you strum it like this. And then I just told them, let's all do it together. Chrissy today is a musical artist. No? She has a band called the Chimichangas. She sings professionally, she plays professionally. She's still in Min College, a beautiful college she found, where she's studying music business management. No? And kung ano yung nagawa ng multiple intelligence sa kanya sa high school, nagagawa ng Min College for her. Brought out her gift for music. Alam niyo po, napaka-expensive ng Min College. And when she told me she wanted to go to that school, I told her, Chrissy, we can't afford that. Oh, don't worry. I will work on a scholarship. So she applied for a scholarship, and she was asked to attend a panel interview. And so in that interview, there were three top guys from the school who said, okay, show us your talent. And she started to play the guitar. And the first thing they asked her was, where did you learn to play like that? Can you play another song? By the time Chrissy played the second song, they were all singing with her. Nice. And that's how Chrissy went on to finish this course in that school. One day, Chrissy came to me and said, Mommy, I have a gig tonight. My problem is I have no voice. Give me something from your Kyani to help me. So this is what I gave her, okay? This is the Nitro FX. It's made out of pure noni extract. It's really from a fruit, a plant. So I just told her, Chrissy, you drop it under the tongue, maybe 5-10 drops, and then let it stay and then swallow. And then do it again after another 2 or 3 hours, okay? So I gave her that. The following morning, she woke me up. She said, wake up, I have something exciting to share with you. And I said, oh, what happened? I got my voice back. I sang so well. They loved me, Mom. I sang up to 2 a.m. I said, really? Okay, so that thing, you have to take it for an entire week. So please keep drinking it so that you stay healthy and well. And she looked at me and said, ganun ba? Naubos ko na lahat ng isang bote kagabi. Tinungga na niya. No? But that just shows that there's no overdose. Anyway, that's Chrissy. The third person I'd like to share with you is someone who's not my child. You see, as country manager of Kyani, the Lord brings to us people from different walks of lives. No? Kyani is a business where those who partner with us can be professionals like doctors, lawyers, business people, teachers, ordinary housewives, retirees. But I had the privilege to meet a young man named Shanghai Rodriguez. He's here right now. I'd like Shanghai to just stand up and raise and wave to the audience. Alam niyo po, si Shanghai, simpleng tao, galing siya sa Palawan. Nung nag-decide siya na gawin ang Kyani business as a distributor, all he had was this, okay? He didn't even know how to speak so well because Shanghai had a slight speech defect. So I said, how did you do it, Shanghai? He said, well, pumunta ho ako sa Jensen, nagkipagsapalaran ako doon, and papasok siya sa mga lugar na wala siyang kilala. He didn't know anybody there. He would go to public schools, to government offices, and he would tell them, meron ako kaming produkto. And this is something that I don't endorse, but they have discovered that you can actually drop it in your eyes for clearer eyesight. So he would say, papatakan ko ang mata nyo, 20 pesos per mata. Pag luminaw, bayaran nyo ako. Pag hindi luminaw, hindi nyo ako babayaran. Shanghai was able to build his business and his team in General Santos. In fact, when I went to visit him about a year and a half ago, and we had just eaten dinner, he pointed out to me the plaza. Sabi niya, ang tawag kasi nila sa akin sa company, Mommy Kate, no? Mommy Kate, dyan ho ako unang nagpasko. Sabi ko, saan? Dyan sa plasang yan. Wala ho akong kilala kasi dito sa Jensen na abutan ako ng Pasko. Ha, talaga? Eh, paano nung New Year? Eh, di bumalik ho ako dyan sa plaza. Our homeless Shanghai now ranks Emerald in the company, a very high rank. No? So let's clap for stories like this. No? Because when Dottie was saying, what is it that moves you and inspires you? It's really to enrich the lives of people. No? I always tell friends who are in the corporate world, invest in good people. And the challenge for us CEOs is to bring these people from good to great. We have to nurture our people to excellence, to greatness. In the same manner as parents, we have to love our children to excellence. This is what I'd like to leave with you this afternoon. And to Rebecca, I dedicate my children, Shanghai and his team, and the entire Kyani Philippines as our gift to your Philippines first world. Maraming salamat.